It's question time.
It's question time.
Let's do it.
First question time of season 3.
Oh my God, this is wild. I thought we were going to eliminate this segment. I thought we ran out of questions.
I thought we did too,
apparently
but
we didn't.
there's more that we need to know about each other.
Right.
So, I mean, we've talked about monogamy, obviously,
We
before
have.
on the podcast.
We have.
I'm interested to know right now, do you believe in monogamy?
It's a tricky question.
Yeah.
I believe that I will only participate in a monogamous relationship.
Okay.
That's my personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
But the older I get, and I've shared this before, the more I question whether that idea is actually something that's real.
Sustainable.
Thank you. Took the word
Sustainable.
right out of my...
Yeah.
I am starting to wonder how sustainable monogamy is.
Mm-hmm.
It will not stop my journey.
Pursuit.
Yeah. Will not stop my pursuit of monogamy.
Yeah.
But it is, the more I spend time thinking about it, and the more I spend time watching relationships that I thought were like successful examples, and the more I actually dig into the inner workings of how those successful examples work, the more I am unsure is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't want to give up on it.
Yeah.
I do believe that, like, I have a Dear Young Queen meme that says, like, don't let this generation fool you. You don't have to stop believing in monogamy.
Yeah.
Someone will love you and only you.
Yeah.
And da-da-da-da. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still very much existing from that mindset.
Right.
But I think it takes two very special people who not only love and care for each other in a way that's different, but I also think it takes two special people who are able to tune out the world and outside pressures in a way that's different.
Yeah.
It takes real discipline. I genuinely believe that people can love you and not be monogamous.
100%.
Now, I'm not saying that that's the best place for you. I'm not saying it's healthy for you. I'm not saying any of that. But I don't think that love and monogamy go hand in hand. Now, I do think that in order for me to be successful in a relationship, I require monogamy. But that says a lot more about what I need to keep me going than it does about love as a whole.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no,
I think that my personal preference, what I need to make me flourish, I think that my purpose partner has to be someone that's monogamous.
Yeah.
But when I look at the world at large,
Yeah.
I don't know if monogamy is real, bro.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's tough, but I think, like I said, monogamy, it's hard to sustain it.
I just feel like 50 years, sis.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the second half of 50, you probably can't even get anybody else.
Yeah.
A guy friend of mine called me maybe 3 weeks ago. I was in the nail salon. His parents have been married his entire life. They still live together, all these things. His mom revealed to him that his dad had been cheating on her their entire relationship.
Yeah.
And at this current point, it had gotten so bad, she couldn't take it. And she finally said something to her sons. And he was ready to fight his father.
Yeah.
He was like, everything my mom has done for 50 years.
Yeah.
Like, he was angry, sis.
Damn, that's tough.
He was upset. I said, but also you don't know the relationship between your mother and your father.
Yeah.
And you don't know how many years she allowed this.
Yeah.
You don't know what she was okay with. You don't know your parents' version of monogamy. Yeah. Did they choose structural monogamy?
Yeah.
Where they're just going to make sure that, like, he don't have no kids outside this house.
Yeah.
This is our household.
Yeah.
This is where we are. Did they choose social monogamy? We're monogamous with each other and the people in our lives that know us.
Yeah.
But intimately and like within us, we know it's okay occasionally to step out.
Yeah.
Did they choose sexual monogamy?
Yeah.
Where he could go out to dinner with whoever he wants, but like can't have, like, you know, you just don't
there's
know.
different versions
and
of
I think
it.
that that's what makes it difficult, is that, like, there is, at this point in 2023, there is no single definition for what that is.
Yeah. Well, I think just with relationships, sexuality, things have become very fluid. We have so much more knowledge and access to different ways of living that it has opened up even just the simple idea of monogamy. Because like you just said 3, there's probably more. There's like, more. There's like, you know, so 5 or 6. But I like what you said in that for you personally, like in a relationship, you would prefer you desire monogamy.
That. Yes. I hope monogamy over my life and my relationships.
Okay.
To say I believe in it, I am questioning it.
Yeah. That's good.
That's where I stand.
Yeah. I like that.
All right. Well, next question. My mom called me a few weeks ago and she said, hey, Ash, I just want to tell you, and I know you tell you often, but what you're doing is super special. Mm-hmm. And she said, Ashley, it's so important that the way you guys are having conversations as women, that you continue to do that because we didn't have those conversations.
Yeah.
And I just thought about all the things about my mom that I don't know.
Yeah.
About her dating life, about her relationship. Yeah. And then I realized, like, I know my parents went to school together, but, like, did they meet at school? How did they meet? Were they at a party? Were they at a cafeteria? Like, I realized I don't know how my parents met.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, how did your parents meet?
This is a good story.
Really?
Yeah. My parents met in Arizona.
Okay.
My dad played professional baseball. He was at spring training. He played 13 years in the majors.
Nice.
Yeah. My mom lived in Arizona.
Okay.
She was a flight attendant.
Okay. For what airline do you know? TWA?
No, I want to say it was Delta.
Really?
Yeah. I want to say she was a Delta flight attendant.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, they met out in Arizona, in Scottsdale. The funny thing about it is my dad was playing for the A's at the time, and my mom had dated another A's player.
Amazing. Shout out to Pam.
Shout out to Pam. Making moves in the MLB. Yeah. I love that for you, Pam.
Sorry, anyways, he was on the A's.
He was on the A's, and the player that
she had talked to
was also on the A's.
Okay. Who was there first?
I would have to Google that because I don't actually know the answer to that question. Either way, but they met in Scottsdale. My dad was spring training.
Okay.
My mom was living in Arizona and was in baseball circles. And they met, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah. How long did they date before they had you?
Not long.
Like, what do you mean that? What's not long, sis?
Shit, I don't know. These are questions I don't know. But what I do know is that my parents' relationship is unconventional. I used to be really embarrassed about this when I was young. My mom got pregnant, and then my dad was sort of in like a transitional phase and they were not together. My parents got married when I was 9.
So your mom raised you, she did her thing. Your dad was at the end of his career.
Yeah.
And looked at, my family means a lot to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of men.
Yeah. But it's interesting because at the time as the child, it was very embarrassing because all my friends, their parents were married. And then I was 9 and I remember just being very embarrassed because when my parents were getting married, it's like I didn't even want to tell anybody. You know what I mean? I had to change my last name. My mom had given me her last name. When I was born, we had to go through the whole changing. So I was Ashley Basom until I was 9 years old. Yeah. So it's sort of like when I was young, but now looking back and being an adult and being able to understand how relationships work, I get it, Pam. Like, yeah, I get it. But at the time, it was very much a source of a lot of embarrassment, and I felt very uncomfortable about sharing it.
To be quite honest with you, at that age, 8, 9, I actually would look at the kids who got letters home to their parents, where you weren't in this case because you had the same last name as your mom. But I would look at letters that were addressed to parents that didn't have the same last name as the child. Yeah. And I would wonder, like, oh, that's a weird house, or that's a weird home. Yeah. Because I didn't understand it. But I also think now knowing that piece of it is a lot of what pressured you when you had children to get married.
Yeah. No,
that
100%.
Was the trauma from your childhood. Like, you didn't want your kids to go through that.
Yeah, I didn't. I wanted us to all have the same last name. I wanted it to be very what I had envisioned. I didn't want my kids to experience the same uncomfortableness or not feeling comfortable with their parents' relationship.
Yep.
didn't work out that way for me.
Right.
But that's okay. Like, I think...
Actually, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I actually feel like there's a way bigger lesson in it not working out, because it's like you yourself not doing it forced you to have to come to terms with the idea of what it means for children to exist in a relationship where their parents are not married.
Yeah.
It made you have to heal that trauma that you carried with you your whole life.
Yeah. And it was interesting because it took years after having Charlie and not being married for me to kind of even feel comfortable with it myself. Also, there were times when Charlie would ask about it and my last name not being her last name. And I chose to have like real conversations with her about it. I don't remember my mom having those conversations with me. And I feel like it would have been helpful because all that you see as a child is like families or relationships should be one way. But like having an honest conversation.
When you read the books, it's like,
TV
and mommy
shows,
and daddy put you to bed, or The Simpsons are on with a mom and a dad. And like it just, we were fed that. Yeah. Do you think the kids now, though, are being fed that version of family? Like, I don't think they're fed that the same way we were.
Yeah. And I honestly would say even between the time when Charlie was young to Chase, it's changed. So I would say in the last like 5 or 6 years, I think the versions of relationships and marriages and home lives the imagery that we are fed has completely changed. So I think that's great because I can say that Charlie asks questions that Chase doesn't ask.
Chase doesn't ask them. Interesting.
Yeah.
And was Charlie asking those questions? Because Chase is still young.
Yeah.
Was Charlie asking those questions at that age?
Yeah, no. Charlie was asking questions even younger than Chase. I think it's that like 4 to 6 range where they're able to like get their sentences together. That 4 to 6 is nasty work.
I also work on Angie Martinez's pod, like I said to you earlier, and we had Kelly Clarkson on an episode a few weeks ago, maybe like a month ago or so. Kelly Clarkson spent a lot of time talking about her divorce and what that meant to her and her children and all of these things. And she said that her therapist encouraged her to have honest conversations with her children. And what her therapist said that really stuck out to me, it's okay to let your children see you vulnerable. So she said that her daughter had walked in one day on her crying and, you know, she was like, Mommy, what's wrong? Blah, blah. She's like, you know, today's just a hard day, babe.
Yeah.
And her daughter said, do you miss Dad? She said, you know what, I do. Do you miss him? And there was this moment of honesty that allowed the child to be comfortable having conversations about that. Like there was you didn't feel comfortable asking why.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the trauma associated with it is not being able to talk about it.
Dog. And that's all.
Yeah.
Arguably most of our trauma as women. Yeah. Because we're supposed to put up this strong face in front. Like, we can handle it. It's okay. Da-da-da-da-da. And that shit really f***ed us.
Yeah, it did.
Our strong mothers, as incredible superhumans as they are, have really up an entire generation.
Yeah, because we're like, huh? Like no, I didn't know. What? This is how it is? Like, you'd be like, you never told me. And be like, well, I was dealing with all of it. You'd be like, what? Like,
you didn't have to deal with it. We could have had conversations, but they didn't have that space. Yeah. So, damn, who knew that question would open up that?
Yeah.
Ashley, how many pieces of lingerie do you own?
Oh, this is a very good question because I just moved. So I did a lot of purging.
Ooh.
A lot of purging and just like reorganizing my drawers. But what I realized is that probably have like 10 to 12 like solid sets that I never wear.
Bro, right?
They were like hidden in the bottom of the drawer.
And you like them.
Yeah, I do like them.
Yeah.
I had the whole like garter situation with like I was like, wow, I used to really do this.
Yeah. Dog.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day hit for me this year and I was like, oh, I got to do something nice.
Yeah.
I opened up my drawer and I was like, oh, I have La Perla in here. I got Kiki Monte Paris or however you say this shit.
Don't ask me.
Bro, some moments.
Yeah.
Is this an age thing? Did we age out of it? Because at the end of the day, we wear all this lingerie and all we've heard for most of our lives is men say they don't care. They want to take it off.
So then you're like, it, I don't care either. Cool. I'm about to wear this t-shirt and your boxers to bed. Good day. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's a little bit of both. It's like,
we got the truth from men.
We got the truth from men, and we became more secure with ourselves. And so I think it does come with maturity because it's the conversations happening. I'm not going to say it's because we're old. I'm going to say it's because we've matured and realized what is necessary and what isn't. However, it's nice to have.
Is it boring? Like,
I don't know. Now? I feel like not boring.
If your partner was to meet some girl, like you guys break up and he meets some girl and like she comes to bed in lingerie, are we the whack bitches now?
Probably.
I think so. Mm-hmm. But we got some fly shit.
Yeah, that's it's there. And that's all you need to know.
That's it, period.
Period. Okay, last question.
Yes.
For you, Ash.
What's up?
Do you feel that you have a healthy relationship with social media?
So it's so interesting is yes and no. Mm-hmm. The yes part of it is I am not somebody who gets on social media and gets jealous of what other people have. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like what they're showing me is real. Mm-hmm. I am very keen on like, this is someone's highlight reel.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
it doesn't affect me internally. Yeah. I'm not like, oh, she has that bag. I need that bag. Like, I'm not that girl. Now I might be like, damn, her hair looks nice. I might click the link and figure out where she got her hair done. So I think that my relationship with social media is healthy and that I don't ingest or I don't feel like I'm less than, which is what a lot of people say their issues are. In fact, I heard on the radio the other day now, they're like organizing a class action lawsuit. Bro, they're organizing a class action lawsuit in New York City if your kid has been affected by social media, if they have body dysmorphia, if they suffer from an eating disorder, if they like... They are getting ready to sue.
Who are they going to sue?
I don't know. Whoever the lawyers that put the ad out on the radio. They were like, if your kid has gone through this, call us.
But are they going to sue like Instagram,
I think they're going to sue the platforms.
Like, the platforms. Shit.
Crazy.
They could win.
This is what I'm saying, yo. It's wild. So yeah, I'm not a part of that. I don't get off social media and feel like my life is not up to par or good enough. Mm-hmm. Now, the healthy part I don't think I have is because so much of my job requires me to be on social media. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I look at that time spent and I'm like, bro, I spent all this time on a app that I don't own. Yeah. That's like not mine. Yeah. That's just the amount of time that I spend on here helps them procure more dollars. Yeah. Like I wish I didn't have to spend this much time on it.
Right. But you make money from it too.
Yeah.
So
fine. It's like going to work, but it's also still is like when you think about the other amount of time that some people spend on social media, it's like I'm one of those people that spends a large portion of my day on social, caring about how other people receive the content I put out. Yeah. I would argue that that's a little unhealthy. Okay. So yeah, I do think I have a healthy relationship. I notice the areas where it's unhealthy and I typically try to just nip it in the bud.
Nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
All right, Ash, last question for you.
Oh, no, we did an even two.
Oh, we did? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, great. Yeah. Well, look at that. Anyways, we haven't been here in a long time, guys. So if you haven't already rated us 5 stars, go now. If you're new here, listen, we really like ratings. It strokes our ego. No, but honestly, how we grow, and we've continued to grow year over year, is from things like that. We need you to rate us. We need you to leave us comments. We need you to leave reviews. Yeah. The reviews are amazing. Let everybody know how happy you are to have us back. Yeah. We're excited to be back giving this content to the people. We are grateful that you stayed around and waited for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a long 5 months, but goddamn, we in our mood. We're back. Goddamn, we in our mood.
Yeah, it's Ice Spice now, not Sweetie. That's how long we've been gone.
That's how long. All right, girl. Until next week.
Bye.
Cheers.
Oh no, I